In his speech, President Museveni advised Ugandans to find cheaper alternatives of living instead of having an expensive test.
The recent phenomenon of high commodity prices is indeed a problem, but it is easier to solve than, for instance, COVID-19 was. COVID-19 needed severe restrictions and new science, e.g. vaccines. It was a new problem. It needed new solutions.
Some members of parliament have today reacted to the president's speech, which they have called unfair.
When you look at budget allocation, it requests and takes trillions of money, and the billions of that money is for food. That can't be buying ordinary food, because a typical Ugandan doesn't feed on billions in a month or in a year, but they feed on billions of money for food. So I think his address is not honest.
I would still appeal to the wisdom of the president. For example, as he's coming to address us during the State of the Nation, I would still appeal to his wisdom that it is necessary to listen and consider and feel for the ordinary person.
When there was an announcement that was going to speak to the country, there was a lot of hope and expectation that he was going to provide solutions to the current situation. Unfortunately, it didn't happen.
The MPs say that they need proactive solution to the challenges that are facing Ugandans, especially when it comes to high commodity prices, high cost of fuel, and high taxes.
No one thinks in terms of this country. Otherwise, if he had a heart for this country, he would divert most of these huge budgets allocated to state house back to communities. And there is no harm in reducing taxes or removing taxes on essential commodities imported from abroad, and also ensuring that those companies supported and their local producers, they must satisfy local market.
Bujili Municipality MP Asman Basalira says the long-term solution given by President Ugandans will not benefit Ugandans during these critical conditions.
As far as I'm concerned, there is a lot we can do. And where the president advises that people should eat cassava, cassava has also become expensive. And the president is saying we should be frugal. Yes, we should all be frugal. But frugality does not address price increase. Just because you are frugal does not mean you are going to reduce the prices.
Legislators now want government to give aid and relief to people who are badly off.
The kind of response that is coming from the president indicates that there is some kind of crisis in the government. There seems to be a deep hole in our treasury. There seems to be a big vacuum in terms of money, like we don't have money. I think the economy is doing it badly.
The president said we need to use the little that we have sparingly. But the challenge with it is that you can only use something sparingly if you have it. There are certain Ugandans who don't have anything. So where do they start from? I think as government, we need to go an extra step to see how some of these families that may not be able even to have something, to give them a starting point.
Inflation in Uganda currently stands at over 5%, a significant rise from last year when it stood at 2.16%. Sarah Nakandi, CTV, PM Edition.